Okay, max alignment is finally done, so I am ready to give it a real test drive. So we're headed to the Canyons. Kind of put it through its paces in kind of a break-in way. Here's what I'm gonna bring. I have, this device is a battery jump starter in case I have an electrical problem. This will be like an alternate battery. Plus I can actually charge my cameras and microphones and stuff if I need it while I'm out. This is just a tire pressure gauge. This guy here is a thermometer, infrared thermometer. I want to probably check some oil temperatures at the sump, make sure I'm not overheating or anything. Definitely want to get some heat in the engine. And then this is just a bag of some tools, some pliers and some sockets and some wrenches and stuff. Let's go, I'm excited. All right, this is the cold start. 2 pumps. It's just got a low idle, but it does idle even at cold start. A couple pops of the exhaust. You can see the mixtures are pretty lean at idle, so you just got to goose it a couple times. I always take it easy on the engine when it's still cold. It just stumbles a little bit when it's cold. And it's still idling really low. We gotta close this door. There we go. Found some mountains. And I just pulled over, checked the temp. I got a temp of about 165 degrees. That's the oil temperature taken right at the sump. So 165 degrees with it running. Took me about, I guess it was like a 25, 30-minute drive here. So the engine's definitely warmed up and it's running really well. So let's go explore. That little car is a lot of fun to drive. I'm really excited about the new alignment. The car is really out here in its element. It's just doing great. It's running great. The seats are comfortable. The steering feels great. The brakes are awesome. The engine's just running well. So I think it's what I would call fully sorted, at least for phase 1. I think the tires are broken in now. These are the Nankang SP9s, and yeah, they I think came with a little bit of mold release, and so Ian was telling me you gotta really drive it in the corners, and so far it is performing really well. The little 912 engine's also doing well. I would say it's just enough power to, kind of keep up with traffic and get around the hills, but certainly more is better. There's one thing I haven't been able to fix, and that's the transmission. It'll pop out of third gear when you're just kind of coasting under a light load. under heavy load, it actually won't pop out. But sometimes around town, just kind of going in and out of traffic, third gear is a problem. I've tried adjusting the linkage and I put it in many different positions and I just can't get it from popping out. So there might be something wrong with the transaxle internally, but it's not that big of a deal. The plan is to build a much stronger transaxle for the bigger engine. I don't think I'm gonna do anything about it right now. I'm just gonna continue to drive it. Okay, in terms of the alignment and the way the car is performing, I mean, I'm still getting used to the car. It feels really pretty balanced to me. At one point, I did get it to oversteer. I had to use the brakes a little bit to get the back end to oversteer. And then in some corners, I did feel it understeer a little bit, mostly in the mid corner, just feeling the wheel kind of vibrate a little bit. I think the front was losing some traction. The alignment was a very iterative process. I would make an adjustment, set it down, check it, make another adjustment, check it. It took me a long time to get the rear toe to a reasonable level. So that's revision E right here, 0.03 toe on the back. Another adjustment I made recently is here to the pedal. So I adjusted the push rods. I actually had to cut the push rods on both master cylinders to get the pedal a little bit further forward. And what that does is it allows me to do the perfect kind of, brake pressure. This is where the brake pedal stops. So when the brake pedal stops, it's pretty much even with the gas pedal. So it allows me to do or practice those double clutches and really rev the engine for blipping the throttle. Really, it's working great. I still want to adjust the brake bias. I think I got a little too much rear brakes. I'm going to set up a camera and try to do a brake test and make sure I know which wheels are locking up first. It feels like it's the back wheels. It's about 4 turns. Just taking a quick break here. I need to charge my small GoPro. It's a really old one. And this battery pack has 2 outputs, so I can charge my microphone at the same time. And then we'll get back to more driving. I do plan to add some anti-roll bars, both front and rear as well, adjustable by the way. And I think that's gonna help, especially in some of the low speed turns I was in. I could feel the car leaning, and that's what the anti-roll bars are there for. They kind of prevent some of that lean, keeps the car flatter in the corners. But the car feels really great. It just wants to turn. So the engine is running great. No changes needed for the engine. The jetting is good. The distributor, I put in the 022 distributor. It's actually, I robbed it from my 356 engine, but it actually runs a lot better, especially in first gear, leaving a stop sign or a stoplight. It just has a little bit more pep, and I like that. It makes it a little easier to drive, a little bit more fun to drive. So the 022 distributor is definitely the way to go over the 050. So I'm leaving that in for a little while I enjoy the car.
That feels good.
So I'm gonna cool off a little bit here at McDonald's. That's my other favorite place, and get something to drink. But this car is running awesome, and I wouldn't be ashamed or afraid to take it anywhere. If it's running as well as it did today, I think I can get anywhere in the United States. It would just go. So I'm really pleased with the car. The brakes are great. Got a little bit more brake bias towards the front now, and that feels better. It stops very, very quickly, and the brake pedal is so nice and firm. I just love everything about the car. It's steering really well. The steering feels tight. It's going around corners great as far as I can tell. Still need to hone my driving a little bit, but I couldn't ask for more. The engine is fantastic. It's a little underpowered, but because the car is so light, it goes. I mean, it goes around traffic and keeps up with cars on the canyon. So I couldn't ask for more. This is great phase one. I'm gonna focus now on cosmetics. So you guys have been asking me to paint the bumpers, and that's something that I can do. I wanted to get the car mechanically sorted because it doesn't change the way it drives depending on what the bumpers look like. So now that I can really enjoy the car, take it just about anywhere, I will now focus on more of the cosmetics like the bumpers. I'm gonna put the windows in it and fix the headlights, all those things. The five things I hate about this car, all can be resolved now. Those are overshadowed by how fun it was today. The car was just awesome.